know about or heard my speech, hemp. So what is hemp? What is hemp?
Marijuana.
And any other names?
Marijuana.
What other names can we have for
Marijuana.
that? Good, good. Other names?
Peace.
There's a name called Mary Jane. Marijuana, Mary Jane. Do you know Spider-Man's girlfriend's name?
Yes. Mary Jane.
Mary Jane. So that is hemp. Hemp is actually a plant. It is the most important plant ever known to man, with more than 25,000 different applications worldwide. And that was 81 years ago. Okay. So actually, hemp has been in use to mankind from the earliest of ages, like since the age of the last ice age, around 10,000 years ago. Like it means the first paper was made out of it, the first cloth was made out of it, the first rope was made out of it. It was the most important plant, and still today it is. And yet, almost all the world over, it's banned. May I know the reason why? Jenny?
Because they consider it a drug, which will
True.
destroy the nation.
It's a drug, but that's just marijuana, which is just one of the more than 25,000 different applications that we can have from this plant called hemp.
But everyone is not banned. There are some.
There are only 4 countries in the world where it is legal to cultivate without any restrictions. Jamaica, Uruguay, Chile, and South Africa. The rest of the world, there are restrictions. So actually, I'll tell you about hemp. There are 3 main varieties of the plant. Only one of those varieties, which is called cannabis indica, named after India. Cannabis indica, from which you produce this weed, ganja, marijuana. The other 2 varieties do not produce any psychotic drugs. And yet, hemp in all its varieties have been banned. I'll tell you the reason why. The reason is corporate greed, the reason is money, the reason is business. By the beginning of the 20th century, hemp was growing even more in importance. What happened? Hemp made the #1 paper on earth. So the other paper producers who are producing from other sources like wood, grass, bamboo, they started resenting the growth of hemp. #1. Hemp was so important that, suppose in 1908, Henry Ford introduced the Model T. The body of the car was made of hemp plastic, which was 10 times stronger than steel. So what it did was it threatened the steel companies, it threatened the plastic companies, because not only was it stronger than steel and plastic, but also eco-friendly. That apart, the Model T ran on fuel made of hemp, hemp ethanol. So the powerful oil lobby, they felt threatened, because if hemp was to be used as the primary automobile fuel, what is to happen of oil? So all these companies, they banded together to lobby against hemp. They found a great ally in the alcohol and tobacco companies, because they faced a huge challenge from marijuana, because marijuana was not only cheaper but also much, much safer than any of these. I'll give you the figures. According to the US Department of Health and Human Services, tobacco kills around 4 lakh people in the US alone every year. Worldwide, the figure is 5.4 million. Alcohol kills around 50,000 people in the US per annum. Worldwide, 1.9 million. And the total number of deaths directly caused by marijuana in the last 100 years, 0. That is because, and that's also including those years when marijuana was legal. That is because marijuana is actually nothing but a psychotic drug which gives you a feel-good high. It is non-toxic and cannot cause death. Ask any doctor, even the American Medical Association agrees to it. So in 1937, the Restricted Marijuana Tax Act was passed, and it became illegal to cultivate, possess or use marijuana in the US. Because of America's growing clout as a superpower, the same ban was imposed in all other countries. Only 4 countries still today, right now, have more restrictions. Otherwise, even in our own India also, there are restrictions. But that was 80 years ago, 1937. Why is it still banned the world over? That is the bigger question and we must answer that. The reason again is a much bigger nexus between the politicians, the government and the businesses. You see, hemp produces tons of medicines. Tons. Most of the life-saving cancer drugs, psychotic drugs like antidepressants, painkillers, cirrhosis of liver, all these can be treated by hemp products, ingredients from the plant hemp. So what it did, the US government especially, I'll tell you, like, they have categorized cannabis, which is this thing, as a Schedule 1 drug, which means a drug which doesn't provide any medical value. And yet, they've got a patent number 66030,507. The US government itself, the same government which has put it as Schedule 1 drug, the same government owns a patent on cannabis and its medical properties. And it actually leases it out to the medical companies who make, pharmaceutical companies who make billions and trillions of dollars in business out of that. That apart, worldwide, lakhs of people have been killed and millions in prison, millions in the prison because of that. Now, slowly all over the world, prisons are being privatized and there are billions of dollars to be made in just putting all these marijuana offenders in prison. In the US alone, 25% of prisoners are just simply marijuana offenders. But what can you do about it? Me? I can only sing a lullaby for you. Dam maro dam, mit jaye gam. Toastmaster.